finally confirmed after everyone said, no, Arnold, you're wrong. I can see the future. You guys think tactical scanners are messed up? You're dead wrong. Today we're talking about the brand new Galactic Legends Leia Organa, which has been officially confirmed in Galaxies. In case you've been sleeping in a rock inside of Tatooine, there's a card in the top right-hand corner for all the juicy details that we know. We got the first part of the requirements, the first 5. Technically 6, I guess. But the question is, what are the rest of the requirements? And you might be like, Arnold, you're on a hot streak. You predicted Leia, you talked about Malicos. I know, I'm the best. How about we take our hand on the wheel and see if we can predict the other requirements for Galactic Legends Leia Organa. So generally, with Galactic Legends, we get 3 sets of 5. Well, we got the first set of 5, which were the brand new Captain Rex. Fantastic, love the guy. We're basically besties at this point. We got Lando, Admiral Akbar, Wicket, and the brand new Princess Kanisa. I don't know. You know, like there's Khaleesi from the Game of Thrones, like a Kanisa. The people like the K is silent. Why is the K is silent? Why is English such a weird language? Like I know a couple of languages do silence. Okay, anyways, things that annoy me. And on top of that, CG announced that they're making this brand new exclusive character for the first time, coming into Star Wars canon named Drogan. I don't know how they're pronouncing it. It's supposed to be a new rebel. Sounds like it's gonna be missing on a limb or something like that, but that's just me going on a limb here. Please don't dislike the video. So if we're going by the assumption we're getting batches of 5 and 3 of them, total of 15, and we kind of already know 6 of them, that leaves us with 9 more that we have to predict here. One of them, again, we're guessing at 3 marquees like some other Galactic Legends. One more new character coming to Galaxy of Heroes. That's going to be a tough one to call. But I'm willing to get into the nitty-gritty. Are you ready to go the distance to discover the truths and secrets of the Leia requirements? Well, let's do it. Wait, what's that, Gary? We got a transmission coming through? All right, well, put it through. Huzzah! It's time to gather your dragons, gather the troops, because we need to create and defend our empire. Inside of Call of Dragons! From the creators of the popular Rise of Kingdoms comes a new 4X strategy game that allows you to create a world with unlimited possibilities. We're gonna need to gather frost mages, elven maidens, powerful orcs, and many other magical heroes. With your powerful allies, you're gonna hunt behemoths and expand the territory of your empire. With 8 unique behemoths, you're tasked with mastering each of their unique movesets. Recruit them to your alliance and use them as a weapon of war to dominate the battlefield, to become the powerful Dragon Lord. Not to mention the PC and mobile crossplay. So what are you waiting for? Will you answer the call of dragons? Well, if so, use my link down below or scan my QR code. And don't forget to use the promo code COD Monster. The time for war is upon us. Join now and ensure your new empire stands the test of time. All right, so enough goofing around. I want to spearhead the big question right now. Before we even get to the remaining 9 requirements, I want to tackle what in tarnation is gonna be the new marquee unit that's coming. So like last year with Jabba, we got the Crescent, we got the new Bausch Leia. And by the way, people said I pronounced it wrong, and I'm like, no, you're dead wrong. I'm right as always. And then there was Skiff-Guard Lando. Well, we already said Captain Rex is one of them. We have Nisa, Drogan. I'm actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm hoping Captain Rex isn't the 3rd marquee character. We might already have the announcement of all the new characters, Captain Rex. I don't know. I'm going off an assumption that there's one more unannounced character coming. Because I'll be honest, as cool as Captain Rex is, as cool as Nisa, whatever it might be, I'm not crazy about Ewoks. As cool as Drogan might be, I think there's a lot of important characters in the upbringing of Leia, or just the connection to Leia, that should be in the game. I'm gonna put out 3 guesses. None of them might happen, but I'm hoping at least one of them happens. for the potential unannounced marquee character. Again, that's a speculation. I think on top of the list, if they're bringing out a Galactic Legends Leia, how about the guy that raised her after her psychopath dad went on a galactic torment spree? Bail Organa. Bail Organa should be, in my opinion, a requirement for Leia. It's just, it would blow my mind if we're getting a Galactic Legends Leia and we didn't get Bail Organa, I think, at this point. Now, if you guys remember, you know, there's been some weird leaks and rumors that we get months in advance, and somehow they're coming true. They have a fairly good track rate so far the past couple months, but I digress. Sometime last year, when there was like this alleged leaked roadmap that so far has been kind of on the money, there was conversation that Bail Organa was in the rumor mill. And I would love to see that happen. There's so many leftover rebels that we're gonna talk about in this list. It'd be great to see Bail Organa not even just maybe lift those units, but be a part of the Leia squad. That would be a big deal. But now that I'm sitting here and thinking about it, maybe Bail Organa is more of a conquest unit. You know what I mean? You know, he's not quite a basic character, kind of an important character. I don't know. I think that should be something that happens regardless down the road. Another guest I'm throwing out there, Nub. I think this guy should be coming to Galaxy of Heroes at some point. I don't know. Is there really much room to argue? I think Nub would be really darn cool to see. I mean, heck, isn't he in that Galaxy's Edge ride? Yeah, the Rise of Resistance. Come on, man. I'm not even going to argue for Nub. The guy needs to happen, and I'd love to see more pilots that can maybe make Akbar a usable fleet again. Now, I had a third one on my mind here. Give me a second. What was my third guess? You know what? I honestly can't remember. I had a third one in mind, but I think it's got to be Bail Organa and Nub. I think it'd be a missed opportunity, despite them doing some cool, unique Star Wars characters like Drogon. I think there's a lot more important name brand character we should have before we start dipping into the fun, let's create our own characters. I think that's just me. Bail Organa and Nub, and there was a third idea. I'm sure one of you guys will list it down below in the comments like, oh crap, that's what I was thinking of. So assuming that there's one more marquee character knocked out, I think that kind of ends the speculation on the marquee, what new characters could be coming. So again, Nisa, Drogon, and an unannounced character, assuming Captain Rex isn't that third marquee character, since technically it came out before the requirements. I don't think he's going to be a third one. And CG never even said there's going to be another unannounced character. We're guessing. Let's talk about the other 8 units that I think are going to be required for Leia Organa. Now, looking at how the years panned out, we haven't really gotten a ship that would make possible sense. I mean, there's been a couple of new ships this year, but those are mostly been Leviathan-oriented, and, you know, there was the TIE Defender, I guess. So I don't know if there's going to be a ship recommended. Usually if they require a ship of some sort, it's got to be something new, hard to get. Like Outrider came out, a few months later Jabba came out. Kind of a hard ship to, you know, just kind of get up and running. And, you know, some previous times we had the Rebel Y-Wing, we had the Imperial TIE Bomber. I don't think we're going to have many ship-related things here. Maybe TIE Defender could be that one. So I'm going to talk mostly about characters. But I want to put it out there, generally there's at least one ship involved. You know what, screw it, just freaking TIE Defender on the list. I don't know. But speaking of TIE Defender, I really hope that they require this character, Iden Versio. Iden Versio. The character's so good. Gosh, how do I explain this without people getting mad at me? If they're going to make requirements, I want them to require characters that are so bangalicious and that people have a reason to gear them up more. Right now, there's not a ton of incentive to get Iden Versio up and running, unless you just really like Imperial Troopers. You got a lot of them left over, and you want to give her the relics. Maybe for her ship too. She's such a good character, but generally in this game, if they're not required for a legendary, you know, people usually try to do like this, you know, minimal investment type of thing, keep it at gear 11, gear 12, or even lower sometimes. I want there to be a reason to go all in on Iden Versio. They might do that through the fact that they'll make her ship required, and then you might just want to get her up and running. So I really hope Iden Versio is going to be required. And on top of that, she was there in the Battle of Endor, so, you know, there's always that oddball like, yeah, we're going to throw that in there for the hell of it. You know, they required Jango for Master Kenobi. You know, so I can maybe expect to throw that in, that oddball dark side character in there. But now we also got to look at other things. CG, the reason why I was able to kind of see this coming months in advance
without even knowing anything, someone telling me stuff, is I look at my roster as someone who really only gears up stuff to requirements. I'm looking, in CG, they look at a spreadsheet, and I'm basically kind of the spreadsheet. Like, all right, we have all these legendaries. What are some things that aren't being geared up? Well, if you look at the bottom of a lot of people's rosters, there's a lot of garbage rebels and Ewoks, and that's how we were able to kind of see this months in advance. One of them being, I think, is going to be Hoth Rebel Soldier. People have Hoth Rebel Scout geared up, right? Good for Mon Mothma, but Hoth Rebel Soldier, trash! So I can totally see that happening. Let's talk about some other trashy-like characters, just based off spreadsheet math. There's a lot of Ewoks that they could add. They already have Wicket and Princess Nisa, Kanisa. I don't know. I'm sure there's one person. Whoa, call yourself a Star Wars fan. You don't know Princess. I'm sorry. I'm not even gonna look it up right now. I just want to. There's that one Princess Kanisa fan out there, Nisa. I want to irritate them. I'm coming for you. I'm gonna say her name possibly right or wrong without knowing it. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of other Ewoks on the list. Just getting Wicket and Nissan there. You got to understand, they're going to require stuff, but they're going to also want to give you that incentive. Even though it's not required, you kind of want to build it up. I mean, there's this thing called the Leviathan. It required Fury-class Interceptor, but funnily enough, no Darth Malgus relics, even though you need the guy to get the Fury-class Interceptor, because what crazy person's going to get the Leviathan and keep their Malgus at level 1? Kind of nobody, so it was kind of an indirect extra requirement for Leviathan. You get your Malgus up already. Kind of a similar deal. So I think there's not going to be many more Ewoks required, although there's a lot of low-gear Ewoks out there, like Ewok Scout. I'm not going to put more Ewoks on there. But there's a lot of other trashy rebels, kind of in the same vein as Hoth Rebel Soldier. Actually, quite a lot, so you pick your poison here. I'm going to put Princess Leia on this list. Generally, we have a couple of Leias. We have Bausch Leia, we have Rebel Officer Leia Organa, and then we have Leia Organa, Princess Leia. Princess Leia already required at Relic 3 for Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker, if I recall correctly, and, well, not really good. And also, on top of that, there has been a reason to increase their relics beyond whatever was required for previous legendaries, and it's kind of a Leia. They usually require a Leia to get the Leia, kind of like they require General Anakin Skywalker to get the Lord Vader, and the list goes on and on and on. There's going to be a Leia of some sort. I'm thinking it's either going to be Princess Leia, or maybe they might require Rebel Officer Leia Organa. Not a really big reason to even level her up. So expect a Leia Organa, Rebel Officer Leia Organa, coin toss for which one you think it's going to be. Speaking of which, let's talk about her other garbage friends. There's been this farm boy Luke just lingering in the roster. Trash. There's not a real reason to up the ante on the guy. This might be that opportunity. Spreadsheet fills out. Lore connection fills out the check mark. So Luke Skywalker, farm boy, I would be kind of surprised that you don't require it, but I won't be mad because I don't want to gear up the guy. I'm just going off if someone put a gun to my head to be like, you better be right. Okay, I'm like, all right, farm boy Luke. Another one, Stormtrooper Han. Now, they could go out and put Han Solo in there, but come on. You guys think they're going to be that generous? How many of you guys out there have a Relic 7, 8? I don't know. I mean, some people go above me on to get Relic 9 Han Solos. Yeah. Do you think they're going to be that generous, especially since it's connected to down? You're dead wrong, Chief. I think they can maybe potentially have Stormtrooper Han. Now, I'm not going to say he's like a pure Garbanzo Beans. It works well with Sana Staros, but besides that, kind of not great. So I'm going to put Stormtrooper Han in there. Not a real reason to upgrade him beyond his minimal requirements, unless you're big on the Sana team. And then I'm going to put one more garbage rebel on the list. Again, just going off spreadsheet stuff. Lobot. There's been no reason to upgrade him. Although I did upgrade him a couple months ago because when there was that weird level 3 data crown, I was like, oh man, I could show something really funny for Lobot. And I did. Kind of regret it just for like 1 month of memes. It was funny though, seeing Lobot be useful. But again, this is the character that there's been no reason to even like get the guy to level 2. So he was on Bespin with Leia. There's a loose connection and it fits the spreadsheet math. So double check mark there. I don't want to gear him up even more, and I don't want you guys to go through the torture unless they kind of make him usable. Omicron 15, the spiel at this point. So that's kind of where I think the spreadsheet math is working with the trash rebels and the spreadsheet math. But there's a couple of other things I hope they do put on the list to make them farmable, to make them required. I would not be mad seeing the following. Now, the biggest tipping point was when they finally added Zori Bliss. to the farming node, same as Princess Leia. And I was like, all right, guys, this kind of is almost like tongue-in-cheek. It's right on the nose. I think there's a Galactic Legends Leia, and certainly a week later, they finally spilled the beans on it. I really want them to make Zori Bliss required. It's in a similar vein to Iden Versio. Now, the downside is Zori Bliss, not double drop farmable right now. But the good thing is she is used about low stars, but I kind of want her to be required because this is one of the best free-to-play teams with the Resistance right now. Zori, Resistance, holy cow, absolutely nutty, encroaching on legendary space, basically. I want people to be kind of like Iden Versio. I want people to have more of a reason than just, this is a good character, I should probably farm this on the side too. Make it mandatory so you're kind of forcing yourself to build up something that's required for something big, but at the same time, you got a big, awesome character. So Zori Bliss, I hope is going to be required. And that was also kind of a tipping point, even a few months back when she was at. I was like, there might be something Leia happening later on this year. The only thing is, the Leia Organa coming is an original trilogy Leia. We're presuming Endor Leia, but it could be, a different costume looking Leia, but it's an original trilogy Leia. I was kind of more in the camp, it's probably going to be a sequel Leia Galactic Legend, but it's not. And Zori Bliss, unless I'm forgetting something lore-wise, I don't think she had really much of a connection to original trilogy Leia. So, my confidence kind of dropped a little bit with Zori being required. Now, I have two more characters on this list. I've lost track because I'm having way too much fun talking about this, but I know for sure there are two more characters that are probably on this list that I hope that come out as a requirement. The issue is, it's kind of bordering on the line of a little too generous, but it's the lore-wise super important. I'm putting C-3PO, R2-D2 on this list as two characters I hope are required. There's such a strong lore connection there. And, man, I'm actually kind of expecting R2-D2 surprisingly to maybe be a core to the new Leia Organa Galactic Legends team. So that would be good to see. But furthermore, the issue that I'm having here is that, well, C-3PO is already kind of needed for Jedi Knight Luke and, Jabba, and kind of already needed a few times, similar to R2-D2. But boy, it would be good to see him required. It's kind of an almost giveaway. I mean, you have to expect them to at least maybe make Relic 8. Boy, even Relic 9 requirement. I hope they don't go that far. But even though a lot of people have these guys at high relics already, they can make it required and just make it that little bump up. Similar to going from Jedi Knight Luke to Jabba. You just got to do a little bump up on C-3PO. I'm hoping if they do bring it in, it's something like that. And that so far is basically what I expect in that general ballpark. Now, of course, those question marks were, is there going to be a ship needed? Is there going to be another unannounced character coming since they already told us two? Is there a third one, or is Captain Rex that third one? I have a feeling it's not Captain Rex as one of the third new ones that they're talking about. So it's kind of a lot of interesting stuff out there in the open. The one thing I'm noticing right away, though, is that the first round requirements are at least either one, they're great, like Captain Rex, or two, they're going to tie into some previous requirements on other things. And three, no insane Relic 8, Relic 9s yet. But seeing that Jabba didn't need any Relic 9s, I think you might need to prepare yourself for at least one Relic 9 for this one. I don't think we're going to go through two Galactic Legends and no Relic 9 needed. So we got to wait and see for that. My favorite part of the video is you guys go to the comment section and just seeing where our speculations leading us. And I think we're somewhere in the ballpark. But I'm expecting there's probably some wild things that just completely throw us off guard, potentially. There could be some other things. I'm pretty sure I'm expecting some of you guys to say maybe Saw Gerrera, Sana Staros. They could be reasonable. They have some connection to Leia of some sort. I would actually welcome Sana Staros and Saw Gerrera being needed. They're already needed for some other legendaries. Let's make them needed for more. Double dipping. I'm a big fan of double dipping, y'all. But anyways, I digress. Leave your thoughts down below. Thanks as always for hanging out. I had an absolute blast as always. And always remember, until we meet again, that it's great to be in the Empire.
Oh, it's great to be in the Empire today.